I'm Heather Dubrow.
And I'm Terry Dubrow.
And we're going to keep this between us.
Not really. No, we're not. We're going to spill it.
Oh my gosh. So we just came back from a whirlwind trip.
Yeah.
From New York to do press to New Haven to drop off our daughter.
Yeah.
So we did this press event. I do this thing every year called Champs with Heather.
Oh, yeah.
And it's my first press event of a new season for Housewives. And basically, what I do is I invite all the press to come to us. And we have champagne and we serve hors d'oeuvres. And they love it. And it's always really fun. And it's great because that means we don't have to run around Manhattan all day.
It's a super brilliant idea because there's like 20 to 25 outlets that you would normally have to get in a car, get in an elevator, pass security of each of the building and go to them. Instead,
they come to us.
And it becomes like the hot invitation is to go to Heather's press event.
It's really fun.
Because you're served, it was at the Four Seasons.
Yeah.
You served open bar, champagne, amazing food, and they sat and had interviews with you.
And it's great.
Everyone.
And we just do like a round robin. Someone sits down with me. I sit at one table and everyone else kind of mingles and has, food and drinks and whatnot. And they sit down with me one at a time. But when you think about it, so we started Housewives when our youngest child was 9 months old and he's about to be 15 in December. And we've known some of these press people are new and young, but some we've known for a very long time.
Yeah.
So it's fun to see everyone every year.
Yeah, they've grown up with our kids in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's super crazy was, so if you all saw it, Nikki was the bartender on Watch What Happens Live, which was so fun.
I got feedback from him about that last night.
Oh,
So I said, so you're going to be the bartender on Watch What Happens Live. You think you're friends. Oh, nobody knows what Andy Cohen's show is.
Yeah, no one watches it.
That's not our age range. You're wrong demographic. Nobody cares. And he came home and spent the weekend in
Newport Beach
in Emerald Bay on the beach with all the girls and all the guys. It's like the OC scene. And he said everybody came up to him. It spread like wildfire. And it was a major, major clout thing for him.
Oh, that's so
cool.
good. I haven't seen him today. I love that.
So it was very cool. And he was great on it.
Yeah, I thought he was fantastic. I loved his 5 things that make me fancy. It was hilarious. If you haven't seen it, I posted a clip on my Instagram that you can go watch. But here's what was crazy. So Max had already gone back to school. And so she was gone, but Nikki was the bartender. And Kat, we were taking to college nearby. And Ace, came also. So we had 3 of the 4 kids. We're in the green room at Watch What Happens Live. And Andy walks in and I looked at him and I go, oh my gosh, you've never met our kids.
Yeah. He's only seen them on TV.
Yeah. Or in the cuts.
Yeah. And he met them all. Except for Max. Yeah.
And and he was like, I haven't. And he walked in, he was completely blown away by how, big they are and grown up. He wrote me the loveliest text the next day about what nice kids they are. And
you can tell he's a great dad. You can just tell he's totally dedicated to it. He's into his kids. He's into the family message. I think he was blown away by our kids and how sort of normal they are.
Well, he once texted me saying, and this was like a few months ago, he texted me saying, Nikki is the guy that we want all of our sons to grow up to be.
Yeah, he's
and
a
I
good
was like,
dude.
Whoa. But it's interesting because I've known him for obviously 15 years or whatever. He changed when he had kids. He admits that. I mean, obviously we all change when we have kids, but he was saying the way he relates to all of the wives has changed.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he understands sort of the no kids, no career ethos even better now.
Yeah, for sure. And I have to say, when we were doing all that press, the feedback I got from our little teaser episode was really exciting.
Yeah. It's amazing to think we were on a plane less than, 10 hours ago?
I know. Totally
and now
crazy.
We're here. I just did giant, difficult. It's so funny. Every time we get back from a trip like this, I walk in to do a surgery, and it's like the most difficult surgery of the year.
Doesn't that always happen?
I walked in, I said, really? This is what I'm coming back to?
We have so much to talk about. I mean, we have talked about the house and what really happened there. And we promised everyone that. And we're going to talk about Fit for TV because that is so crazy and on so many levels. But before we get into that, we must talk about college drop-off because, oh my gosh. So you all know we have 4 kids. We've done this twice. And we've done this more than twice because there was the freshman year move in for Max and Nikki. There was the freshman year move out. There was the sophomore year dorm move in. And like we've done this a number of times, plus all the summer programs they went to, all of that kind of thing. This was intense, man.
Is Kat going to hear this?
I hope not.
Are we really disclosing like?
Do we not want to do that?
Oh, let's just go for it. For some reason, I think.
But I think
the typical Yale student isn't going to necessarily listen to this podcast.
Well, look, this is just the truth. I will tell you that I posted very small snippets of of Kat's drop off,
right?
And I was inundated, not hundreds, but thousands of messages from people who are going through that first year drop off, who are about to go through the first year drop off, who just did the last year drop off. I mean, all of it. It's so unbelievably relatable. And I know the story we're about to tell, everyone will understand. But I'm going to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. Basically, the good, I mean, they did this induction ceremony for the freshman class that was that not incredible?
Yeah, Yale knows how to do an induction ceremony.
They really do.
Yeah.
I mean, their choir was amazing, and the speeches that the dean gave and the other gal, I mean, they were
wearing the robes. Basically, it was Harry Potter.
It was totally Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're sitting like in this quad, and there's all these like gorgeous, albeit mildly creepy, right? Buildings?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Like you feel like a crow is nearby.
Yeah.
And everyone's wearing robes, and the colleges, they each have names, like Gryffindor, right? They all have their thing.
Yeah.
And they have their own flags, and it's very Harry Potter-esque.
The message that the president and
the
dean gave, first of all, I thought it was going to be sort of very
erudite.
No, I thought it was going to be, left-leaning and make references and acknowledgement about what's gone on with the colleges, with particularly the elite colleges and the government,
political scene,
and the government. They didn't go there at all.
They mentioned it, but they didn't delve into it.
Yeah, I thought, and when they first started, I thought, God, this is going to be about AI. And it was significantly in part about AI and where AI is going. And they used, the president of Yale was an art historian at Yale.
And she used
She used this painting talking about sort of the third industrial revolution. And then that molded into and evolved into the fourth industrial revolution in a way, and AI. But she really just talked about grit and character, and really sort of establishing you're in the Yale community and you're a community among people who have worked very hard to get here, and now you need to be open to everybody and continue to learn, and in a way be bold but humble.
It was a lot about what resonated with me was it was a lot about community, and she was referencing this painting and talking about AI and fourth industrial revolution, but also it was really about inclusivity. It was about being a good human. They both spoke about what kind of human do you want to be? That's what you're here to figure out. Yeah, you're going to figure out what you want to do with your life. You're going to figure out your career, all those things. But what kind of human do you want to be?
She walked the line so beautifully, because even if you're very on one side or another side of this split country that we lived in, you couldn't be upset by anything that she said.
No, it was so beautiful. And then the choir singing. By the way, how many times did we cry?
Oh,
we cried a lot.
Yeah.
And the day was like perfect. It was sunny and there was a breeze.
Yeah, it was amazing. And then, just so you know, when you drop your kids off at college, unless you have a very different experience than we had, your kids are going to be douchey.
Yeah.
And
remember that stage we talked about from 11 to 13? It comes back. There's this thing, when you talk about the nest, like empty nesters, flying the nest, flying the coop. There is something that I have heard about, that I've told you about, called shitting the nest. And apparently this is a very common phenomenon where kids are douchey right before they leave because it makes it easier. Well, thank you.
Made it so easy, Kat.
So much easier.
Kat, see ya.
Bye.
I'll see you at Thanksgiving.
We move her into her room. By the way, the tiniest, and I've seen some tiny dorm rooms. This was the tiniest dorm room ever. And so she and this gal, they have bunk beds in this little closet. Then there's a common room with another two gals and a little bunk bed and a tiny closet. And you know what? Here's the good part of all of it. They were all great. Everything fit. The girl, her roommate's lovely. The suite mates are lovely. And they were all, I don't care what walks of life they come from or what they grew up doing. I'm telling you, they were all just fine. So whatever you think is going to happen, they're all fine. They brought too many clothes and too many shoes, and somehow it all fits, and they manage, and it's great.
But what's interesting is, everybody else's kids seem to be so perfect and so great until you talk to their parents.
Right.
And
we're like, why are their kids not upset or freaking out?
And so their parents were like treating them with we got to the point with Kat where I was going, can I talk now?
Can I breathe?
And then the
best moment. Wait, this was the best moment.
Encapsulates the whole thing.
This totally encapsulates this because Terry and I keep laughing about this. And by the way, Kat is such a sweet, truly sweet. We don't say this about all of our kids.
No,
she is such a sweet, wonderful.
She's the good one. We
child.
Call her.
That even she knew she was edgy and she was nervous, of course, totally normal. And she would go like, I'm really sorry. I'm sorry. I know I'm being edgy, whatever. We're walking down the street and nothing is going on. Terry and I are standing next to each other. She's walking a step ahead of us.
And we're both like this.
We're not even looking at each other. We're looking straight ahead. We're not talking.
As if we're in a chandelier store, and
bull in a china shop.
Yes.
We're just walking forward. And Kat turns around to look at us, to clock what we're doing. And I thought, we just won. We're looking straight ahead. We're not glaring at each other. This is great. And so she goes, and I go, what? She goes, you two are driving me insane.
You're really stressing me out.
Stressing me out.
And I look at Heather and I thought, my God, I purposely, for the last 5 minutes, have said nothing.
We were trying not to breathe.
Oh my, and then it made it so easy to leave. I mean, at some point I was going, I'm so out of here. Thanksgiving, forget it. Maybe for Christmas, but you're just going to sleep here all the whole year.
All right, whatever. She really wasn't even that bad. But for her, it was a change of character, right? Because she's really not like that at all. But I mean, my gosh, going to college across the country and the gravitas that this particular school holds, it's a lot.
It's unbelievable.
But the great thing is she's already made some great friends, and we made some friends, which was so
amazing.
Parents.
Wow.
Her friends' parents were unbelievable, so cool. So so we dropped her off, and she seems to be acclimating, right?
Yeah, I just know she's going to have the best time there, and she
looks so cute. And then I wasn't allowed to take photos, so I took secret pictures.
Right. Which if you post, she'll disown.
I won't post them, but there was this gorgeous tunnel and I took a picture of her from behind walking in because in my mind, I thought in 4 years, I'm going to cry when I said, but I want a picture of her walking out of that tunnel in her cap and gown.
Yeah. She's amazing.
She's so cute.
She's going to have such a great.
And don't you just see her there?
Oh, she's perfect for that place.
She's so
creative and brilliant. She's
so
everything.
smart.
She's just everything.
So great. She already has friends.
It's good.
All right. So we've launched 3 successfully to the world of academia.
One more to go.
But we have 4 years. Well, he's starting high school, which is a whole nother ball of wax. But.
And so now we have one child taking care of the 2 dogs who immediately pooped last night in the house.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, Cat's gone. There we go.
No, the gates cracked open. That's it. For some reason, they're not house trained. They are bath mat trained. They will always pee or poop on any bath mat.
Yeah, they're cute, but they suck.
This Labor Day, say goodbye to spills, stains, and overpriced furniture with WashableSofas.com. Featuring Anabay, the only machine washable sofa inside and out, where designer quality meets budget-friendly pricing. Sofas start at just $6.99, making it the perfect time to upgrade your space. Anabay's pet-friendly, stain-resistant, and interchangeable slipcovers are made with high-performance fabric built for real life. You'll love the cloud-like comfort of hypoallergenic, high-resilience foam that never needs fluffing, and a durable steel frame that stands the test of time. With modular pieces, you can rearrange anytime. It's a sofa that adapts to your life. Now through Labor Day, get up to 60% off site-wide at WashableSofas.com. Every order comes with a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. If you're not in love, send it back for a full refund. No return shipping, no restocking fees, every penny back. Shop now at washablesofas.com. Offers are subject to change and certain restrictions may apply.
We, like the nation, are obsessed with Fit for TV. Number one show on Netflix right now.
So
interestingly, we are not only friends with Dr. Rob Huizinga, he is our
personal physician.
He's our personal physician.
Yeah. So if you're not familiar with Fit for TV, it's the new docuseries and the number one show all week, every day.
About the Biggest Loser.
On Netflix, about the Biggest Loser. And for those of you who don't know, the Biggest Loser was a gigantic, I think 17 or 18 season
17, I think they got
reality show about taking obese individuals with obesity, we would say in the world of academic obese medicine now. You don't say obese individuals, you say individuals with obesity, okay? And bringing them on the show and exposing them to certain diets, certain exercise, to get them to lose weight. And the one who lost the greatest percentage of weight relative to their got won, I think $250,000.
$250,000. So they put a price tag on it.
They did. So there was a competitive weight loss show.
Did you ever watch this show back in the day? Because I don't remember us watching this show.
So I remember in 2003 and 2004, I did the show The Swan, which is widely considered the worst reality show of all time.
I was there.
Sending the worst message about you're not good enough. And I remember when they canceled, not for lack of ratings, but when they canceled The Swan, this new show was about to come out called The Biggest Loser, where we're not doing plastic surgery. We're not like that terrible show, The Swan. We're going to do it healthy. We're going to send the right message. And they're going to lose weight through diet and exercise, and they're going to feel great about themselves, and we're going to help America cure the number one cause of, cancer and diabetes and heart disease and neurodegenerative obesity. And it turns out to be the worst reality show of all time. The Biggest Loser.
Very detrimental.
The wrong message with a whole bunch of characters on this show who did it the absolute wrong way. And The Biggest Loser was the biggest loser of reality shows. And this docuseries does a really good job about outlining this. What's so interesting, though, is there were two trainers, Bob Harper and Jillian Michaels.
And I'm sure, even if you never watched the show, if you were around at that time, they were huge, because just to explain how big the Biggest Loser was, it was a gazillion-dollar industry. They had huge... Internationally huge,
like
and
American Idol.
Yeah, like American Idol, but huge brand deals.
Giant.
They had cereal and bars and things, and they were on covers of they were everywhere.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, Jillian, Bob, they all got a piece of the merchandising.
We think.
Well, didn't Rob tell?
Rob
Are we
told
allowed
us,
to say this?
But we don't know for sure, but who cares?
But Rob turned it down.
Rob, yeah.
That was a mistake, Rob. I'm just telling you.
Yeah. So what was supposed to replace The Swan with this great reality show that was empowering and treating the number one disease that affects America turns out to be the worst.
Well,
the worst on so many levels. And it's blowing up even today as we speak, because one of the participants, Jillian Michaels, who was one of the two trainers, Bob Harper and Jillian Michaels, didn't want to be on the documentary. So you didn't hear her side of the documentary.
By the way, everyone was in the documentary
except her,
except Jillian.
Yeah, and so the documentary didn't serve Jillian well. It portrayed her as being incredibly mean,
right?
And it portrayed the whole show as basically starving these people, exposing them to 5 to 8 hours of exercise a day, which is
not sustainable.
Not only not sustainable, it's basically, if you're treating obesity as a disease and it's the treatment of the disease, it's medical malpractice, massive medical malpractice to give them 800 calories a day, and I can tell you medically why if you're interested, and expose them to 5 hours, because all you're going to do is lose lean muscle mass, including a cardiac muscle, if you overexercise and don't eat enough to sustain your basal metabolic rate.
And then there's the matter of caffeine. And there's a lot of controversy, even in the documentary, about was coffee allowed, was coffee not allowed?
Yeah.
And if you're allowing coffee, then why can't I give caffeine pills? Jillian said on one of the episodes, she actually got dinged. Her team got dinged because they had signed a deal saying they would not give contestants anything, including caffeine, and she did.
Right. So Jillian, it didn't do her any favors, and she gets, in my opinion, looking at the documentary, the brunt of most of what was wrong with the show in terms of the way they portrayed it.
Right.
So Jillian spoke out this morning.
Oh, I heard it. She was on TMZ.
She went on TMZ.
What did you think about what she said?
I thought it was, in my opinion, very long and rambling and mildly nonsensical.
Very difficult to follow.
Yeah. And she was very critical of the doctor on the show, our friend, our personal physician, Dr. Huizinga.
Yeah.
And
by the way, Dr. Huizinga is a Harvard trained,
he's
brilliant doctor who is such a safety guy.
Yeah.
And I know this because he's my doctor. Trust me, I have to talk him into things.
We've gone on vacation with him before. But I mean, this is not some TV doctor with, so this is not some TV doctor they hired who's going to follow exactly what they say, no matter how crazy it is, so they can get an entertaining television show. This is a guy who's extraordinarily gifted, brilliant, went to Harvard Medical School.
And has a very high moral compass as well.
Very high moral, and, has an enormous practice of fundamentally, basically celebrities.
Yeah.
And is one of the most principled, if not the most principled physician I've ever known. And so Jillian gets on TMZ and basically starts going tit for tat, criticizing him and the way he took care of these patients. And among the allegations, which I don't know, I mean, I've spoke to him today already. I don't know if one would consider, I'm not a lawyer, consider them defamatory, but they're medically defamatory, in my opinion. Isn't that she said specifically that he stopped inappropriately medications they were taking on the show?
Oh, right. She said he stopped them from taking Prozac, stopped them from taking metformin.
And that
what did he say about that?
I'll tell you in a moment. And that he went against specialists that these people were seeing, and went against their medical advice and did exactly what he wanted to do. Now, here's the thing. At the end of the day, Dr. Huizinga is a very highly trained, Harvard-trained physician, okay? And, for a personal trainer to have an opinion about Dr. Huizinga's medical judgment is like me having an opinion, what do you do when you're Tom Brady? Tom Brady should not have, dropped back that way and called that play in the foot. It's like, what do I know about?
Okay, we have to interject a small story into this narrative so people understand how you feel about Jillian Michaels, because without this context, you may not get this. But can I tell part of this story?
Yes, please.
So I want you to understand who my husband is, and this is very him. So you have to understand that Terry is a double board certified surgeon. He was a board certified general surgeon and then became a board certified plastic surgeon, which was sort of the classic way to become a plastic surgeon at the time. Now there's different ways. There's truncated, shorter ways to get into it. You could be an orthopod. Like there's other ways to do it. But anyway, to say he's a highly trained doctor is an understatement. Okay, well, as many of you know, Terry really likes talking about GLP-1s. He really believes, and we're going to get into this later, I think, with the whole Biggest Loser Fit TV conversation, but he truly believes these are miracle drugs. And if you've seen any of the studies, not only weight loss, but cognitive health, your brain, cardioprotective, all these incredible ancillary benefits that you get from the GLP-1s. Well, to make a long story short, Jillian Michaels started fighting with Terry in the media about Ozempic, right?
Yeah, I came out and said what a wonderful historical medical breakthrough I think this is. And she immediately started saying significantly negative things about these drugs.
And
that diet and exercise are the way, and these drugs are short term and they have all these side effects and they're going to damage all these people. And so we had a little battle where I said, look, obesity is a disease, okay? And if you want to get your medical advice from a personal trainer, I think that's a bad idea. And then we were walking out of a restaurant and somebody, TMZ, asked me about, what do you think about Jillian's advice? And I said, look, if Jillian wants to give medical advice, I think she should take the MCAT to go to med school. You know?
Okay, so suffice to say, not fan. And
no, not a fan.
But this is who my husband is. And so this was a long way to tell you this story. He was so irritated by the entire thing that he went and studied for the Board of Obesity Medicine
certification.
The certification. Like, it's a board certification, just like he's board certified in general surgery and plastic surgery. He studied for the exam and passed, and he is now also board certified in obesity medicine. That's why I can't fight ever with my husband, because this is who he is.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like not that big a deal a thing. He just takes these courses and study this thing and take the exam. Turned out to be 11 months.
Yeah.
And I thought, why am I doing, just because I got in a fight with Jillian Michaels in the media, this is what I'm doing now. So,
but thanks, Jillian, because now
now I'm certified by the American Board of Obesity Medicine.
So now he's an expert.
I can testify in court or in front of the California Medical Board about the use of these drugs and the treatment of obesity.
Okay,
so it's funny that this docuseries just came out when I've become a fresh expert in the treatment of obesity.
Right, exactly. All right, so that was a little digression, but I wanted everyone to understand how you truly feel about...
Not just a plastic surgeon.
About Jillian. There you go. You're an obesity medicine expert.
This show was a unmitigated disaster. I'm calling it the worst reality show of all time. It's amazing they didn't kill people. It's amazing that they had a couple go in the hospital. One went into the hospital with rhabdomyolysis, okay, which is basically they worked him out so hard.
She had organ failure?
That her skeletal muscle broke down, got into her bloodstream, and sent her into organ failure. Okay.
It's crazy.
They put patients on 800 calorie, allegedly. I mean, that's what it says on the documentary series.
Right.
Even though Rob Huizinga said he put them on no less than 1,200 calories a day, they put them on 800 calories a day. Now, it takes for a female 1,200 calories a day just to keep your organs alive.
Is that right?
Just to keep your heart pumping and your liver working and your kidneys filtering your blood. It takes men 1,500 calories just to keep your organs functioning, okay? If you put someone on an 800 calorie a day diet and you work them out 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a day like on this show, where do you think you're going to get your calories? What do you think you're going to break down?
Your
once
organs,
you've gone
your visceral fat.
You're going to break down your cardiac muscle.
Yeah.
You're going to break down your liver tissue. You're going to eat yourself to the point where you are at risk for sudden cardiac arrest, for rhabdo, for incredible arrhythmias and disasters. It's amazing they got away with it so long without having a death.
What was crazy to me as I was watching it was, what I realized was there is no mental health person anywhere. There is no one. It is Bob the trainer. Is forget about the screaming. He's having like the personal moments with them, helping them through their trauma. They're trauma dumping. Now listen, I get it. I've had many trainers. We all trauma dump on our trainer. And thank you to all the trainers that are willing to listen, because it really helps you get through. However, when you're doing something so extreme like this, it was amazing to me that there was no psychologist, no psychiatrist, nothing.
It was infusing an eating disorder, right? And meanness to try to traumatize them to lose weight, because if you were the trainer and they were on your team, you wanted one of your participants to win.
Yeah, it's like The Voice.
And it's not like they had free will. Sure, they signed a consent form, but listen, I can have a patient sign a consent form for medical malpractice. You know what I mean? Here, I may kill you if I do things wrong. And by the way, and then you held out the carrot of $250,000.
Well, that's the thing. They put
They're
a
going to
price
do whatever
tag
you
on
say.
it.
It was fully and completely unsafe.
Although you heard the producers say if he could go back in time, he wouldn't have offered money. He would have bid the prize is your health.
Yeah, but no one would have watched it. He says that now he's sitting pretty in a home in Bel Air with millions and millions of dollars in the bank, but it wouldn't have been a hit show.
Right.
Yeah, it was it was abuse and it was malpractice.
And more than that, I mean, the fat shaming of it all, when you really hear experts talk about it and the actual contestants, the challenges that they were doing they were terrible. You know, having them, there was temptation things like, and they had to do silly challenges and dangerous challenges, like all kinds of things.
It was weight loss through starvation and torture.
And then the question of this, you know, caffeine issue and these stackers. And then also Jillian talked about on the show, you could hear her talking about her personal supplements that had green tea and whatnot in them. Those are all stimulants too. And she
caffeine.
talked. They had a clip of her on the show.
Yeah,
talking about those. Those are stimulants.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to speak for Rob, but Jillian said that he was giving away Ambien like it was candy. She said that today. That's a line from her on TMZ.
I didn't hear that.
And I said, Rob, she said, you're giving Ambien away like candy. He goes, I go, did you give the participants Ambien? He goes, I probably gave 8 to 10 over 17 seasons. They couldn't sleep. And I was doing medical supervision. I was their physician. I go, all right, of course you did.
Right.
Ambien. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
And he goes, she said, you gave caffeine. He goes, at some point it's very clear they were going to take caffeine. So we thought we would,
titrate it.
And so it was under our control. So it was safe. I thought, he goes, essentially, he says to me, she's basically she's questioning my medical judgment when she's not a physician who's not in a position to question anybody's medical judgment. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see what happens in the next several days. I hope they don't start suing each other because neither of them are going to win. They're both going to lose. And they're going to spend a lot of money with lawyers.
Well, that New York Post article that came out years ago.
Yeah.
There were a lot of accusations about Rob back then, and he sued.
Yeah,
the Post.
and they settled.
They took the article
They took it down and they settled too. Yeah, I think.
Because it was wrong.
Yeah. So I think this docuseries is very hot in the moment, man. I want everyone to watch it because, you know, I was always concerned on the Swan that me and the other doctor were going to be on the cover of Newsweek and say that we're going to kill someone. It was going to say reality TV has gone too far. It was going to be us in one of those promo photos for the Swan. Oh, look at us. We're plastic surgeons on TV.
And then
Aren't
dead.
we fabulous?
Yeah,
and then we kill somebody. Luckily, that didn't happen. We never went beyond, but they clearly did on this show. It's a bummer.
This Labor Day, say goodbye to spills, stains, and overpriced furniture with WashableSofas.com. Featuring Anabay, the only machine washable sofa inside and out, where designer quality meets budget-friendly pricing. Sofas start at just $6.99, making it the perfect time to upgrade your space. Anabay's pet-friendly, stain-resistant, and interchangeable slip covers are made with high-performance fabric built for real life. You'll love the cloud-like comfort of hypoallergenic, high-resilience foam that never needs fluffing, and a durable steel frame that stands the test of time. With modular pieces, you can rearrange anytime. It's a sofa that adapts to your life. Now through Labor Day, get up to 60% off site-wide at WashableSofas.com. Every order comes with a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. If you're not in love, send it back for a full refund. No return shipping, no restocking fees, every penny back. Shop now at WashableSofas.com. Offers are subject to change and certain restrictions may apply.
Let me ask you this, though. Just reality shows in general. I'm going to take you back to Glamis. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
So I've been on this show a long time. And, you know, I am not a daredevil, as you know. But, you know, I'm on the show. We're going zip lining. We go surfing. We're doing all these things. And we had gone to this place called Glamis, which are these sand dunes. And Tamara was there all the time and driving us in this buggy. And if you remember this, she took a turn, the last turn, for one last lap around the dunes, and I remember going, no, and the thing just tipped, and I was in the passenger side, and two girls were in the back, and Tamara was driving, and I remember to this day my face going into the sand because we hit side and then upside down, and then anyway we rolled, right, and Vicky was airlifted out of there. I mean, there were injuries. And at that moment, I have never seriously considered the fact that one could get injured or die.
They do all the time there.
Yeah, and they do all the time in Glamis, yes, but I just mean being on the show. Because I think coming from scripted TV, in my mind, I'm always like, oh, we're safe,
but
we're
that
protected.
Wasn't the producer's fault.
No, that's not
Bravo
what I'm saying.
always has everything, does everything right with safety in mind. They never,
100%.
in our experience, ever push the envelope.
I agree. But what I'm saying is, shit happens.
Right, but...
my question is, to your point, you're right. They did everything that we had helmets. They did everything to protect us.
They didn't do anything on The Biggest Loser.
But my point is, what are the parameters? Like, how much are these producers liable for when you are signing up for exactly what you're signing up for?
Well, you can never, have a patient consent to negligence, to general negligence. Right. So I'm not saying they were negligent. I'm not a lawyer, okay, because I know if someone's negligent medically, I'm an expert in medical negligence. But, it was weird because that Bob Harper guy came on, and as he's talking, I'm listening going, if I were your brother, I would say, shut up. You're indicting yourself. So many of the things he said, in my opinion, just were dumb, were ridiculous. But, he wasn't giving medical advice, but, it seemed to me the people who were taking care of the participants, The Biggest Loser, were the trainers. But that's the way the docuseries presented.
The way it presented is that those trainers were their therapists, their trainers, and their doctors.
Yeah, that's the way it presented. We're not saying that was the way it was.
Bob, the trainer, and I'm not giving anything away because this was all over the news when it happened, he was this very fit guy who was on The Biggest Loser for all 17 seasons, and then he had a massive heart attack.
Right. And Jillian, in an article, said, well, maybe it has to do with the CrossFit and the paleo diet.
That's what she said about him?
There was a comment that I read. And I thought, okay, again with the opinions that are not based in medical science that make no sense.
Right. But as far as The Biggest Loser is concerned, their message was, if you are fit and healthy, you won't have these heart diseases. You won't have these things. And
ridiculous.
Here's the fittest guy of all, Trainer Bob, and he has a massive heart attack.
Well, yeah, he obviously had congenital hypercholesterolemia.
But he talked about having to make lifestyle changes.
Yeah, he did. He had to, control his cholesterol, do whatever else he's doing. I didn't think he looked great. I didn't think anybody looked great except for Rob Huizinga. Everyone looked bad, from the creator to the executives to everyone looked culpable for why the show was. And do you blame them? It's like everything else based on greed. They want a hit TV show. They want to make a lot of money.
One of the former contestants was saying, what would have been nice was aftercare, because you work these people out like crazy and put them on this restricted calorie, and then you put them back in the wild like, bye, see ya. And he said, we want to continue to be helped. Is there a way we can, just get something? And one of the creators was like, well, there's not empty pockets of money, and these people are making hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars.
So it's funny. I don't really want to give anything away because I want everybody to watch it because it's very entertaining. But so they had previous contestants on, okay? And they tell you that they all gained the weight back.
Yeah.
Okay. And by the way, if you know anything about obesity medicine, if you starve someone, the body's physiologic reaction to that is it makes this hormone called ghrelin, Ghrelin, which is the hunger hormone. So the more you starve them, the more ghrelin they're going to make. And so the moment they start eating like a normal human being,
they're starving.
They can't. It's like the worst idea. It's actually so completely counterintuitive and illogical, and it guarantees them to fail. The whole show was set up for post-show failure. And then it's funny because when you see the contestants that gained weight versus some of the contestants looked thin and looked good as if it had worked. And then at the very end, they talk about the GLP-1 drugs. And they tell whether they're on it now or whether they're not. And you'll see, much to my point with Jillian, the GLP drugs, whether they're good or bad. The only thing ultimately that allowed them to maintain a good weight was, what do you think it is?
Except for those sisters.
Right.
It was very interesting to see who of the contestants at the end, when asked, would you have done this again? And
they said yes.
These gals.
But they massively profited from it too.
They did great.
They went on speaking tours and they did great.
They did a great job.
But everybody else.
I think the reason it ended, though, was because that one gal showed up at the finale looking very frailly thin.
The wealthy producer at the end said, well, we think we sent a message to America and we helped a lot of people. You know, the problem is back then, the period of time, obesity rates were about 25 to 29% of America. So this is how much that show helped. Currently, it's about 35 to 39%.
So it didn't help at all.
It did the opposite.
And also the message was
the
absolutely
wrong
wrong.
message.
It was you need to be thin to be loved. And that is the wrong message. And listen, people are all different shapes and sizes. Morbid obesity is bad because of what it does to your health.
So what's the message? The message is, if you're overweight, if you're obese, not your fault.
No.
It's a disease. It's the number one cause of the top 4 causes of mortality. And I'm not your doctor, but I recommend you go to your doctor and talk to them about Mounjaro, Zepbound, and increase your protein and do resistance training. Don't starve yourself. Don't work out 5 hours a day. That stuff doesn't work. That is medical. It's abuse, and it doesn't work, and that's fact.
So if you could reboot the show, like they said today, hey, we want to reboot the show.
Too boring.
How do you do? Because why?
Because I don't think it's, we're going to put them on an injection and we're going to do logical, soft exercising with resistance at 150 minutes.
Zone 2.
Zone 2 training,
So
150 minutes. And we're going to put you on higher protein. And
it's going to be scenes of people eating cottage cheese.
Boring.
What kind of cottage? How many curds did you have?
It's like telling the UFC, forget that smashing each other until we knock you out.
Leave
We're going to do thumb fights.
Alone.
We're going to do thumb fights. And the guy who buries the other guy's thumb wins.
Did you want a thumb fight?
Thumb fight. I'm saying it's not you can't do it.
It's not a thing.
That's why botch works, because we start with the disaster and we try to make it fix. We try to fix it.
Yeah.
We don't. Oh, and then the other thing is they apparently, from the docuseries, they told people to gain weight before they came on the show.
Oh, I know, because they wanted to see the delta. You know, they wanted you to start higher.
Yeah. So,
although we used to do that too. I mean, when we used to go to Weight Watchers, we'd always eat a huge meal right before and step on the scale, because then you knew your first week weigh-in was going to be so good.
But get more body fat and increase your BMI further, so your chances of a heart attack is even greater before you come on the show.
Yeah.
So normally I'm not very negative about anything. I want to inspire and make people smile and be happy. But that show, I had no idea. And F you for putting down the Swan and saying your show was so great. Your show sucked.
Well, let's not, give props to the Swan either. That wasn't a great message
too. And I was one of the major participants. But I never did more than 8 hours of surgery, and I never put anybody in the hospital.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
So there's
that.
There's that. That is so. All right, we're completely over time. We haven't talked about the house.
Oh my gosh, we've got to tell them about the house.
I know, but I don't want to tell the story in 30 seconds.
Yeah, you know what people are going to love? That. You know why people are going to love to hear about the house? Because
it was a massive fail.
If you love us, you'll be interested. If you hate us, for the haters, you're going to love to see how we messed up.
Listen, before next week, look up the word Schadenfreude.
Oh, yeah. Schadenfreude.
Yeah, you'll love
Those
it.
Those who enjoy people's failures, you're going to
love it.
It's going to Schadenfreude episode of the century.
And listen, if you have kids going back to school, I'm just going to remind you, the younger grades are, challenging to navigate. The middle school grades are the worst, very douchey. High school is stressful because of the college thing. They all end up in the right spot. Do not worry about it. It's all going to be okay. And if you're dropping kids at college, I feel you. I understand it. It's all going to be okay.
And if you think your kids are the only douchebags, oh no.
They're all
our
douchey.
kids are douchey.
It's just that parents don't talk about it.
You don't see the other kids' douchiness.
No.
When they come over to your house, there's perfect kids. Oh no, your
Got
kids.
great manners. They hold their cutlery properly.
Our kids are as douchey as yours.
Oh, in the
trust
wild,
me.
they all do it.
Oh yeah, as
I'm
much as we
telling
love
you.
them.
So we get home. Just the last thing. So we get home. And we look at each other, and Ace came in, and he was having dinner with friends. So he came in, he said hi to us, whatever, and he left. And we looked at each other just alone in the house, and we were like,
This is nice.
not bad.
Yeah. All right.
Take care of your nest. That's the final thought. Take care of your nest.
Till we see you next week, and we're going to tell you about our house mess.
Till then.
Bye.